What if I told you that your most important decisions, who you trust, who you hire, even who you vote for, are being secretly manipulated? And the manipulator isn't a spy or a corporation. It's a glitch in your own brain that you never knew existed. This hidden bias is called the halo effect, and it's shaping your reality every single day. It's a mental shortcut where we take one positive trait, like physical attractiveness, and assume everything else about that person is positive too. If someone is handsome, we assume they're intelligent. If they speak well, we assume they're trustworthy. But here's the danger. This halo blinds us to the truth, making us easy targets for manipulation. Think back to the last time you instantly liked someone you just met. Why did you trust them so quickly? Was it their expertise, or was it just a warm smile and a confident handshake? In the next few minutes, we're going to expose how the halo effect infiltrates everything, from the courtroom to the boardroom. And most importantly, we'll show you how to break free from its spell. You don't want to miss this. So why does our brain do this? Why do we rely on these halos in the first place? It's all about efficiency. Our brains are bombarded with thousands of pieces of information every minute. We can't analyze every detail, so our brain creates shortcuts to make quick decisions. It's survival. This is cognitive bias 101. We favor information that confirms our first impression and ignore everything else. The term halo effect itself was coined over a century ago, back in 1920. An American psychologist, Edward Thorndike, discovered it while studying how military officers evaluated their soldiers. He noticed something bizarre. Soldiers rated highly in one area, like physique, were automatically rated highly in unrelated areas.
It didn't make sense. Why would being tall make someone seem more honest?
Thorndike realized the officers weren't seeing individual traits. They were seeing an overall impression, a halo, and that colored everything. Fast forward to today, and the most powerful, most common trigger for the halo effect remains the same: physical appearance. Studies have repeatedly shown that we automatically assign positive traits like kindness, honesty, and intelligence to people we find attractive. It's known as the "what is beautiful is good" stereotype, and it's hardwired into our perception. This bias has massive real-world implications. Attractive people tend to earn higher salaries. They receive more help when in need, and they are often perceived as more credible leaders. But is this fair? Are we promoting the most competent people, or just the ones who look the part? Let's dive deeper into the workplace. The halo effect starts the moment you walk into a job interview. A candidate who arrives polished, tall, and speaks with confidence creates an immediate, powerful halo. The interviewer might unconsciously assume this person is also organized and a great team player, often within the first 5 minutes. Meanwhile, a slightly disorganized but potentially brilliant candidate might never overcome that negative first impression. And it doesn't stop at hiring. Performance reviews are also heavily influenced by the halo effect. An employee who is well-liked and charismatic might receive glowing reviews that overlook occasional mistakes. This leads to unfair promotions and perpetuates a cycle where style often triumphs over substance. But it's not just people. Corporations use the halo effect all the time to manipulate your spending habits. Think about your favorite technology brand. They release one incredible, revolutionary product.
Suddenly, that positive halo spreads to everything else they make, even their average products.
We buy the headphones because we love the phone, even if the headphones are just mediocre. That's the brand halo in action.
The same goes for celebrity endorsements. A celebrity we admire lends their halo to a product they might not even use.
We assume if the star is sophisticated and talented, The product must be too. But it's just borrowed light. But what happens when that first impression isn't positive? What happens when the halo turns into horns?
This is the horn effect, the dark mirror image of the halo effect, and it's equally powerful.
If we notice one negative trait, perhaps someone is overweight or unconventional in their appearance, we assume everything else about them is negative too. If an employee is late once, the horn effect makes the boss assume they are lazy and disorganized in all aspects of their work. The horn effect is where stereotypes and prejudice take root. It makes us dismiss people before we truly know them. And in the age of social media and polarized news, the horn effect is amplified 1,000 times over.
We see a politician from the opposing party, and the horn effect kicks in instantly.
We assume they are not just wrong on the issues, but that they are also corrupt, unintelligent, or even evil. The horn effect stops dialogue and prevents us from seeing the humanity in those we disagree with. We've seen how these biases affect our jobs and our politics, but the most terrifying impact of the halo and horn effects happens here, the courtroom. This is where cognitive bias can literally mean the difference between freedom and imprisonment. Research has shown a disturbing pattern. Attractive defendants are consistently perceived as more credible and receive lighter sentences. A clean-shaven appearance, a tailored suit, and confident eye contact can create a halo that minimizes the perceived severity of the crime. Conversely, the horn effect takes hold when a defendant appears unkempt, nervous, or fits a negative stereotype. The jury subconsciously assumes guilt based on appearance, discounting the actual evidence. How many innocent people have been convicted because of the horn effect? And how many guilty have walked free because of a halo? It's not just the justice system. The financial world is also dangerously susceptible to the halo of perceived success. Think about massive financial frauds. They are often orchestrated by charismatic individuals whose halos blinded investors to the truth. They believed they were being objective, but the halo paralyzed their critical thinking until it was too late. So, if the halo effect is unconscious and automatic, are we helpless against it? Absolutely not. The first, most crucial step in breaking the spell is awareness. You have to see the halo to stop it. When you meet someone new, or when you're evaluating an important decision, you need to actively slow down your thinking. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Is it based on evidence, or am I being influenced by superficial traits? In professional settings, we need to rely on structured evaluations, not just gut feelings. Techniques like blind reviews, where names and photos are removed from applications, help focus on merit alone. And when fighting the horn effect, actively look for counter-evidence. Challenge your negative assumptions. Seek out diverse perspectives. When everyone in the room looks the same and thinks the same, bias runs rampant. And be skeptical of perfection. If something seems too good to be true, whether it's a product or a person, it probably is. Fighting the halo effect isn't easy. It requires mental effort and a willingness to challenge our own instincts. But the reward is immense: a clearer perception of reality, fairer decisions, and a deeper understanding of the people around us. The halo effect is a reminder that we are not perfectly rational beings. We are creatures of emotion and instinct. And perhaps that's not entirely a bad thing. The halo effect might push us to see the best in people, to give them the benefit of the doubt. But optimism must be balanced with skepticism. We must recognize that first impressions are just the beginning of the story, not the end. The true measure of character, competence, and value lies beneath the surface, hidden from the immediate glare of the halo. So the next time you find yourself making a split-second judgment, remember the silent puppet master. Acknowledge the bias, slow down your thinking, and look deeper. It's the only way to truly see the world as it is.
Thanks for watching. If you learned something new today, share this video and stay curious.